There's a big difference in skill level between second and third year students. However, there are specific theoretical and practical competencies that must be met before a student is sent out on placement. Competencies are documented within the supervisor guide that is sent out on each placement. We also identify in the manual what the learning outcomes are for the placement. Use them as a guide to where you think the student should be at by the end of the placement. Ask the student what they'd like to gain from their placement and find out areas that they're confident in.
Before a student arrives, I've already gone through the university's information and, if necessary, spoken to the university lecturers about what the students covered in their course up to date and have a really clear idea of where they are in their course and their experience. When the student gets here, the first thing I do is have a chat to them about what they've done previously, what their expectations are about this placement, and also about what their confidence levels are. When we're getting into actual practice, what I'm going to do is make sure that some of the foundation pieces, such as interaction with a patient, engaging appropriately with them, and some of the really essential assessment skills are there and that they're good and solid before I determine what else we're going to let them do. Getting a student from observational experience to hands-on is a stepwise process. So with a particular clinical task, the first time I'm going to get them to watch me and talk them through what the critical parts of that task are. The next time, I might get the student to do it, part of it or all of it, with them talking me through the critical points. They might need to repeat that a couple of times before I'm satisfied that they've really got a good hold on it. Then the first time that they're going to go and do it completely independently, I would let them do that with me quite close by, perhaps with a patient in the cubicle next door. Once they've finished, they would come straight back to me, report on what's gone on, and go over any critical things from that task. The non-clinical aspects of professional practice are really important as well. For example, it can be really intimidating for a junior student to have to talk to another health professional. So in that circumstance, what I do is take the student to one side, have a chat to them about the reason for having the conversation with the other health professional, go through the key points so that the student knows what it is that they're supposed to be talking about. Might even practice it with them, do a role play, and then also make sure that they understand any specific organisational or cultural context to the conversation. So, for example, in some places it can be there are people who you would never call by their first name, and the student needs to know that and understand that. If I've got concerns about a student's ability, what I do is break the task down into pieces and let them just do the bit that I know that they're safe with. It's really about making sure that I'm satisfied that they are safe, and sometimes it's just about confidence.
And remember, if you're ever unsure about your role as a supervisor or the progress of the student, contact your education provider.